what y'all were doing. The weather's nice, get outside. You're gonna hear some racket because people like to share their music around here. Time to change the oil. And that junk ready to come out. Didn't even turn it good. Hold up. The wind's blowing a little today. Look at there. Look at there, on there. Oh yeah. She nasty, y'all. It's nasty. This car didn't even meet the miles for it to be changed, but I got a thing on here that tells me, hey, it's time to change the oil. And whether I'm driving it or not, it counts down. It hadn't went off yet. So I checked it and I said, I think it's good enough to go ahead and do it now. I ain't gonna be losing anything. And we got some decent weather. Next week, toward the end of next week, we're gonna get up into the 70s. Ooh-wee, you know, old Lisa gonna have fever to be outside. I like them Jeep trucks. They make me think of them old trucks like back in the 30s. I just don't care the way they paint vehicles now, that finish on them. They look flat. I don't care how much they buff them or shine them, they still look flat. Oh girl, whoo honey. You almost needed a fluid pill, honey. I'm gonna let you get that out. And you'll feel better when this is all over. She almost wagged her little bumper when she saw me pull out the ramps. She or he, whatever it is, I don't care. I used to call it Cash. And then I called it Waylon. So it's been between Cash and Waylon since it's sort of a silver looking gray with black racing stripes on it. It needs to be painted. It's a 2010 and it's got 120 some, about 120,000 miles on it. Next we'll be getting the tires rotated. I won't be doing that. I would if I could do the weights and all that stuff on them, balance it. But I don't have that capability, so I take it somewhere to be done. And it's going on noon, I think. So that means you're gonna hear some traffic in a little bit coming down from the school, because they got some weird schedule junk. It ain't like it was when I was in school. Be thankful I ain't out here at 4 o'clock or anywhere between 3:15 and 4:15. Now about 2:30, it'll get loud because buses will go in to prepare for the school day to end. And they shut this road that runs in front of my house. They shut it down permanently. So now you're limited in a way to travel back and forth to your house I liked it the old way better. And you would think that the vehicles would be able to, since when that roadway was open, that, they had that longer way of picking up some speed, that by closing it and leaving the school, they have less distance to travel and less opportunity to speed up. Wrong answer. They faster now, because I think it gave them the feeling that law enforcement ain't gonna be down here, and if they are, they'll see them. And they need a no-marked car down here to watch, because I guarantee you they could write speeding tickets every day, going and coming from this place. Because the speeding's worse now than it was when that roadway was open. I don't know why it did that. All I think is it gave them security that law enforcement wouldn't be down here. Or they'd be able to see them. Most of the oil was in the pan, because all I did was back the car out. It took me about 3 times to make sure I had it on the ramps the way I wanted it. I could have done it the first time, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'll let you stay a little longer, honey. I've been changing my oil for, I'd say, I know over 20, probably started changing my own oil in the mid-90s. So it's been a couple of vehicles. It's cheaper. If you know what to look for up on your own vehicle, you can look for wear and tear. Get somebody to teach you, show you things. Back before I started doing this, I went to a place and a lady was working in there. She worked on vehicles. And I knew her. Well, I kind of knew her. Anyway, it was slow business that day. And I said, would you mind showing me what you're doing when you change the oil in that vehicle? She said, come on. So I went in there and watched her go through each step. They lost some money, because after that I started doing it myself. And I used to have a truck, and I should have kept it, but I traded it in because it was paid off, and it had low miles on it. That thing was 10 years old. I think it only had probably about 120,000 miles on it when I traded it in. And the only people that touched it was me changing the oil in it, and the dealership that I got to know the guys in there, and they didn't throw anything your way that was trying to make money off of you. They were on the up and up. And the gentleman, whoever they worked on your vehicle the first time, as long as they stayed there working, that was the only individual that touched your vehicle when you took it in for maintenance. And I got to know him, and he got to know me. And he was a preacher on the side. I think he ended up leaving and started preaching full time after the dealership moved or something like that. But whenever he worked on something and he needed to tell me about something that's going to need to be done in the future or whatever, or show me what he had done that day and show me the old part that come off, he would, and you're not supposed to do that, have you in the bay, but he would take me in there and go, he says, I don't bring people in here like this. He said, but I know you'll understand what I'm telling you. And, you're comprehending what I'm telling you. And, which I really appreciated that. Because a lot of people don't look at women like they don't know what they're doing. There's some women out there know just as much as men. There's some men out there don't know any more than some women. Like I've always said in some of these videos, it's not about the gender. It's the person's capability of of retaining information and being able to do it. And as long as I'm physically able to do it, I will change my oil. I ain't in a joking mood. I'm sorry, I am, but when you're laying up under a car like that, ain't too much you can joke about. I had a better place to put the phone, and I realized my big head's gonna be blocking it, so I had to move it. And the people that are cutting grass, they're like on the same side of the road I am, but there's a street that runs in between us. They get their grass cut every 2 weeks, and this is the first time it's been cut this year, and it's all dormant, all brown, sandy brown. So I don't feel so bad. The worst problem they got, I guess that's oak trees, and they need to be really cut back a lot, because by every time a good wind comes up, a branch is falling off. Alright, honey. I ain't gonna stay here till I reach Social Security age. Now listen. My mother, I changed her oil, and sometimes she don't tell me when she's wanting it changed, and she'll go somewhere else and have it changed. And she's told me how much they charged her, and I'm like, damn if I'm paying that much. All they did was change the oil. Overtime. That came off easy, but when it gets hot, it'll tighten up. I'll check it after I put the oil in it, and let it sit and run for a while. I'll look and make sure it's not leaking, but I believe it's tightened up. That's the original, Lord Lisa. That's the original drain plug that was in it when I got it, because I got this car used. It had I think about 43,000 miles on it when I got it. Alright, let's get this oil filter off. Now this will be the part that gets messy. I got gloves that go down my arm, and they all pretty and yellow. Try not to hit that camera. I've changed the front and back brakes and the rotors and the calipers on this. And when I did that, I had somebody to walk me through it, because it was the first time I'd already had done it. I'm gonna just do that for a little bit. It's gonna come down. Because of the camera, it's amazing. Yeah, I can't get a good grip and get my arm up there under it. There we go. that wind stays down and nothing crazy happens. All the oil was caught. Got a pan in this cover thing. I call it a vehicle cookie sheet. If I could get back, if I didn't have a camera here, I could slide it back. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. My reflexes are still good, honey. There we go. But if I hadn't had the camera there, it wouldn't have happened. Because I've been able to slide it because the camera's on a stand. I take my oil to an auto parts place and put it in their barrel. I know I had another paper towel. Where'd I lose it at? There it is. Okay. Always make sure your seal is on that old one, because sometimes they can come off. And when you put your new one on, you ain't gonna get a secure fit and you're gonna have a leak. Put some of this oil here on that seal. And it say pour it in there now. I said put it on the seal. Alright. Gloves are slippery. If it's at the right angle, it's going to screw right on. There we go. There we go. Put some kind of cloth because these things are slippery. It ain't like they got grips on them. I know Fram has a little bit of a grip on theirs. And but I use Motorcraft on this Mustang. And you don't want to over tighten your filter. Now, I didn't make too big of a mess. Could have though, boy. Looked up on reflexes. Okay, that's good. Well, that's it. My hair looks flat up there, and here don't. But it ain't. Beta Gate does.